My divine star travelers, my divine Crystar family, we're going to go over the projector type in this video. Now, the projector type is not known as an energy type, and we're going to really go into what is the gift that projectors are here to give. But one of the things about holding projector energy means that you actually do feel so much that moves through your entire aura, your entire template, and everything that you are processing inside of you. In some ways, it can many times feel like you are an entire alive cosmos processing inside of you. And let's go over some of the most incredible ways in which you can begin to utilize this beautiful gift that you are here to be within this lifetime so that you can start to find the peace, the joy, and the magic in creating what it is that you choose to create within this lifetime. In this video, we're going to go over what are the 5 different types. We're going to touch on first, how do we work together? We really do want to recognize that we're not here to live as solo beings, and that even though we might want to really focus in on our type, that we're really looking at how is our type a gift to the world? How does our type reflect through the aura, and how does our aura function? Within this, it starts to give us a greater understanding and wisdom in how to make decisions, how to have healthy relationships, and for projectors, this is about how to get the invitations that you do want to manifest within your life as you are guiding and sharing. Now, as we look at this energy of projectors, projectors are approximately 20% of the population. The gift that you are here to give is different than the energy types. Energy types are here to gift through their work, their busyness, and their energy. And even though you are like a massive auric field of all of that energy that you feel around you, your gift is actually your wisdom, mentoring, advising, and organizing. You do not have a sustainable motor, which means that you really need to protect your energy. And this is really, really important for you, my dear projector family, because your energy is so sacred to you. And if you misuse it, it can create some very difficult things later in your life as far as how you recharge or replenish your energy if it ever gets depleted or exhausted. So it's always best to learn how to nurture it in the now rather than having to go into some long drawn out ways of having to replenish it down the road if you are leaking it out in ways that do not serve you. Your strategy in this life is to wait for the invitation. Now, this can sound absolutely long, arduous, and horrible, but it's really not. And we will talk about how this can be a really good thing. But to know that you are a very, very, very magnetic type, you really do, on an almost focused and in a hyper strength kind of way, draw towards you individuals, opportunities, and things within your reality. It's just important to recognize that if you are not very specific about what you are attracting into your reality, you might feel overwhelmed by a lot of the energies that are in your life, and you might not have the greatest choices from what you are drawing if they are not coming from your actual dreams or what you do want to manifest in your reality. Now remember, a projector is not an energy type, but again, you are very absorbing, so therefore you can actually feel a lot of energy. In fact, projectors are one of the types that can actually have 8 of the 9 centers actually defined within the chart, everything but the sacral center. So within there is a lot of diversity within the different types of projectors' energies. Not every projector is going to be exactly the same. So knowing that all of the projectors being 20% of the population, you're all going to have a very unique position and gift. So within this, it's important to recognize that even though you do feel like you do have a lot of energy, many times projectors actually feel like you are a manifester, which means that you should just be able to pick up, make happen, and do whatever you want, initiate, and get things in motion. But that it could not be further from your correct strategy and inner authority. You truly are here to wait for the invitation, to really allow the universe to bring these things to you, but it is not an idle thing. You are meant to be a very active and very intentional creator within your reality. Your aura type is so focused and absorbing that it can feel almost overwhelming or piercing within you when you get around others. Many times, this can create unhealthy relationship dynamics because you feel so much that you would feel the heartache that you might create for another if you were to say, break up with them or end a relationship. So sometimes projectors have a tendency to hang on to a relationship much longer than is healthy because there is such an empathy of feeling what one is perceiving the other will go through and therefore not wanting to hurt the other's feelings. So within this, it's important to recognize that it is very important for you what people that you have around. This is actually really important for all the types, but the non-energy types, specifically the projectors and the reflectors, and even the manifestors, it is very important for you to make sure you have your correct people, your correct tribe, that you are here to be the gift that you are here to be. So within this, there is not self themes for all the types. The projector not self theme is bitterness, but it also tends to run in the energy of depression as well, even sometimes just a despair over taking in many times the things that are going on in the outer world around. So whether it's an unhealthy dynamic in a family, in a work environment, or sometimes just literally looking out into the worldscape. If you are scrolling through something on the internet and feeling the empathy and the pain of maybe a collective or a group or individual that has gone through something, it can be so overwhelming that it might feel like it takes you out for a day. So within this, to recognize not self themes are anything that start to take you out of your center of feeling thriving, feeling the energy of success, vitality, and joy. One of your greatest gifts as a non energy type is really being able to guide and understand the energy of others. This is really about projects, businesses, organization. Projectors have a talent for recognizing the capacity and the capabilities of the energy types and of guiding these people in the most efficient use of their energy. This is really truly your gift. The energy types, again, are going to be the manifesting generators and the generators. Now, manifestors also have a motor that goes to the throat. They are not referred to necessarily as an energy type, but your wisdom is also highly beneficial for the manifestor type. So to know that it's really truly projectors and reflectors that have the ability to really kind of guide these other types in a beautiful way, but it's not about telling other people what to do. And we're going to dive into this. It's really truly about being invited in so that you can share what you maybe are perceiving, seeing, recognizing, and being able to share that gift where it is being invited. Now, the five types are the generators, manifesting generators, projectors, manifestors, and reflectors. So it's in a really helpful way sometimes to see this in a graph like this so that we can recognize that we're here to work as a tribe and a community. Knowing that the generator types, being generators and manifesting generators, make up approximately 70% of the population, which means projectors come in next as the next largest group within there. that if we were to look at them as individuals, so generators as one, manifesting generators as one, projectors are pretty up there as far as an equal, almost a third of what that would be, being at around 20%. Really, the smaller of the population types are going to be the manifestors and absolutely the reflectors. But of all the types, it's important to remember the manifestors have their own unique energy as their energy projects kind of in a pulsing energy outward. So even as a projector, you're still part of what we would think of as the 90% as being a magnetic aura, which means that you are absorbing, receiving, and introspecting on the things that you are sensing kind of coming into your world and your reality. And therefore, it's important to learn how to navigate these energies that come in. And yours is just very focused. It's almost like a soul spotlight that you can sense from people to people to people as you interact and connect with them. But it's again, as a magnetic type, all magnetic types have the right to have the sovereignty of their magnetic field to say either yes or no to what you are observing and absorbing into your reality. Now, this is really important because, again, the five types are meant to work together. Every incarnation we come in, we might choose a different aura. We might choose a different type. So maybe you're a projector this time, but maybe you were a generator last time. Maybe you were a manifestor at another time, right? Maybe you've been a reflector. So it's important to recognize that who we are as an aura is one, it's about how we work together on the planet as a tribe, as a human species, but it's also going to reflect upon what is the most important for you to really embrace your greatest integrity, life purpose, and mission of your soul across many incarnational experiences. Projector for you is going to be about learning how to preserve your energy, how to work well with others, how to not give away your wisdom without it being respected, recognized, and asked for, and learning how to create healthy empathy and healthy boundaries with where you allow your thoughts and emotions to be kind of hooked into or focused on. This is huge for this particular lifetime for you. All five types are meant to really support each other, each one kind of taking on a different task as far as inspiring the entire human species to evolve. That we are not meant to always be within just a tribal and survival space, but really we want to evolve into being spiritualized. That we do, in some ways, come back to working together as a collective and a community, but through our own individuated way of being sovereign within our own communion and connection to source, and within our abilities to really fully and completely honor our purpose and our gift that we bring to the whole, while also recognizing that in the others that we interact and share our sacred life with. So this is also going to be reflected in your incarnation cross. The incarnation cross that we all have, every auric type is going to have also the incarnation cross pointing the way as to part of your unique purpose. So the special purpose is recognizing that as a projector, that's one part of it, right? And that there's quite a diversity as we look at the inner authorities here in this video today. With the projector, there's many inner authorities. So there could be anything from just two centers defined in a projector chart all the way up to 8 out of 9. You're one of the most diverse when it comes to really being activated in the different ways on the rave chart. But the incarnation cross starts to amplify coming from the sun and earth on the design, which is the red, and the personality, which is the black side, which show the design and earth, which is really the pillars, your life path, your compass of who you are here to be. Every single incarnation cross is completely different. Some incarnation crosses are here to remind people how to be love. Others are here to be like a clarion call to awaken others. Some are here to remind people of how things used to be when Earth was in harmony. There are others that are here to create kind of an infectious energy of inspiring and getting people going. There's also quite a few incarnation crosses that are designed to actually agitate or get people out of their comfort zone. So maybe to disrupt the energy a little bit in order to create catalysts for change. That we as a human species do have kind of a need for motivation, a need to kind of step out of our comfort zone in order for us to grow, because comfort is one of the things that can keep us stagnant and without a level of growth within many generations if it gets stuck in that way. So you will also want to look at your incarnation cross as far as the life's work and how you're meant to shine as the core star that you are within this lifetime, because that's also going to help you understand how others might receive your energy so that you don't take it personal if it ever feels as though not everyone gets it. Not everyone is your tribe. Not everyone is your people. Okay, so this is really important this is a message for all types, not just projectors, but that the more we recognize that we all need to honor finding our tribe, our people, our soul family, we start to recognize that anytime we're trying to force particular relationships to work and are agreeing to be within these arrangements in unhealthy relationship dynamics, that we are going to just let our life slide by without the greatest joy that you as a projector really get to embrace, because with all that massive energy that you are able to sense and feel, imagine feeling that on the highest emotional and vibrational levels. So let's dive into some of the things that projectors are here to do. One of the key things for projectors is that you just have an innate and a brilliant mind in the way that you think things through, organize things, and just have a propensity to knowing the best order for things to be in. So organization. This is actually key. You are great organizers, networkers. You really do have a great gift for bringing the people together in the right combinations. So your position in this lifetime is really best held many times within a middleman position. So the in between, the organizer, the connector, being able to really kind of direct how things function in maybe a larger organization. This could be everything from making sure that schedules flow correctly, from making sure that the timing on trips runs right for others. This could be everything from trip organizations to business organizations to even counseling and emotional organizations. Really, anything that you choose to have a passion for in this lifetime, that when people come to you, you have a way to really click into them as a person and really see what motivates them, what gets their energy moving. And then therefore you start to realize, oh, well, if this person goes first, this one goes second, this person comes in at this time, the next person comes in at that time. This is when the energy will flow the best, and this is how things will just be seamless, easy, and move with a great flow and expansion. This could also be something as subtle as gardening. This could influence anything. Again, it's about energy management. So think about the energy management of plants, flowers, botanicals within a garden, knowing exactly where the sunlight plants need to be and the shade plants need to be and which ones need to get planted at what time. This is so your gift. So whatever, again, the gift, the of what you're inspired by, you just have an innate ability to kind of click into, if this was this way and if this would move this way and if this was done next, then these things could flow better. And recognize if you're not feeling inspired about organizing or having things in order in your life, this is really something important to look at, because it may be reflecting to you that you do not have a lot of the correct components around you in your life to feel the inspiration of what you want to be, that gift of guiding and organizing. You really do have an ultimate gift of helping to maintain particular projects and to bring harmony into the world. So let's look at some of the things around this, because we want to make sure that when you are utilizing your energy, that this is coming from your what you want to imagine and what you want to dream into your reality. One of the things I do want to say is that because you can feel things so much, when something's out of order, it can really make you feel uncomfortable inside of yourself. It can impulse you to right away want to speak up and say what needs to change. And I will say that I've come across multiple projectors that maybe are very business minded, that if they walk into a business, they can immediately see, oh, well, if this was placed over there, if this was arranged this way, if the greeters were addressing people in this way, this would be better. And a lot of times these projectors will actually feel that energy so much that they will go, where's the manager? Where's the owner of this company? And they will feel impulse to want to tell them right away what they need to change in their environment in order for it to be better. And I'm just going to say right now that that is the absolute 180 degrees opposite of the correct way of using your energy. In fact, it will start to feel like your world is not clicking or flowing in the way that you want it to. And so it is best to remember that when you have these almost urges to speak up and say what needs to be different, it's best to hold this in, and we'll look at this in some of our next slides, because you're here to imagine and dream up your own reality. And even though you can feel what might not be working in a lot of other people's dreams, that's none of your business. And this is important, is to remember that you're going to be flowing through lots of other people's dreams and realities, and not everybody's dreams and realities are yours to be that organizer or wisdom sharer for. In fact, you really want to spend a lot of alone time starting to really contemplate, what do you want to manifest into creation? So I like to say to projectors that you have the ability, out of all the types, of all the 5 types, you above all, when you use your energy correctly, have the ability to sit within your home, to meditate within your journal, to go within your breathwork session, to really dream up, what do you love? What do you want to do? What do you want your world to look like? And your job is to clear out every limiting belief that says, oh, well, that won't work, or that's impossible, or I don't know the right people for this, or I don't have the right degree for that. And in fact, I'm going to encourage you to take all of that and literally shred it. Throw it away, because that's not how you operate in this lifetime. You are one of the most magical types of the 5 types when you actually harness your joy. Here's how the projectors really flow. Remember, you're incredibly magnetic, more so than all other types. So, whose magnetism are you hooking into? If you can start to really hook into the cosmic magnetism, think about communicating and creating with the cosmos, with the source fields. Now, as you are projecting your dreams into creation, source the source fields will hear it, will receive it. And as you start to really focus 100% on what it is you love to do, that you could be home and say, maybe you want to do interior designing or organizing in some kind of way, or start up some sort of business that really helps people, organize either their business or schedule or their life. I'm just giving some ideas here. And you want to actually spend all of your time learning all about it, inspiring yourself about what you love, allowing that to be so big in your field that when you do talk to people, that this is that something they know that you're passionate about. You have to let the world know what you're passionate about, not by going out and making it happen, but really just by authentically being yourself, as far as just letting people know what you're into, right? So within this, as you be this, you literally have the type that is known within human design as the magical manifesting type that could sit within your home, dream what you want to dream into reality, and find many times that someone will come knocking on your door, ringing you on the phone, texting you on the phone, emailing you, direct messaging you, or something that just says, hey, this is going on. Do you want to join in? That's the invitation. Your entire aura is designed to be recognized by other people and invited in. And you will get invited in more and more into that which you are holding within your field. So, one of the things that's so beautiful is to first and foremost take all doubt, all levels of skepticism that can sometimes get into the projector's field for absorbing too much in the world around you, and take all of that and toss it out to literally start to go, man, I am a magical dream, and what I imagine and what I dream, I am going to focus on that. I am going to create my ultimate healthy relationship to source, the source fields, and to my higher self. And the more that you do that and focus only on what you do want in your reality, while you take the action steps within your own joy of studying, learning, and sharing time with what you enjoy or want more of in your life, you will find that the universe will start to literally come knocking on your door, really bringing you the invitations, and we'll look at the inner authority that you have as to how are you going to receive those invitations so that you say your yes or no to what is correct for you. So let's look at a little bit of the intricacies of your field. First, again, you must find your people that are looking for your skills. So this goes along with dreaming and manifesting what you do want. As you speak more about what you do want and say it is something like organizing or doing something like this, then it's probably less likely that someone's going to come to invitations with you that might be completely lateral, like say starting a restaurant or something like that. That you'll recognize that what it is that you have a joy for is going to attract those that kind of feel that energy, think of you because of what you are dreaming into reality, and then reach out to you for that. Following your strategy and inner authority is so important for you, and it needs to truly be your foundation in order to be recognized. So, just in that same way as I talked about, say, a business person that might go into someone else's business and see what could be better, honestly, the genuine energy of the projector is going to want that business owner to do better, and that's why they're reaching out to them to be like, hey, if you change this and this and this, you'll probably get more customers or more repeat customers or this and that. But the truth is that nobody really wants somebody to come into their business and start telling them what's not working, especially if you're not asking for that advice, right? So in the same way that you wouldn't really like it, just keep that in mind, because this goes for everything, whether it's your family, your partner, your work environment, whatever it is that you're in the middle of. Just keep that in the back of your memory. Recognition is your ultimate. It is part of what boosts your vitality and your life force energy. And this is going to be important. I'm going to really couple this in with the idea of relationships, because recognition is actually so important to you in this incarnation and lifetime, that sometimes receiving unhealthy recognition will start to fill in sometimes those needs, those wants, or those desires within. And this is why it's really important to do the self reflection and the inner work, so that as you start to recognize that recognition really comes from the value that you're bringing, and that in any ways that you have maybe been hungry for recognition and allowed maybe some toxic things into your life because you felt as though you were receiving maybe some breadcrumbs of that recognition, it's going to be important to recognize that now correct recognition is going to be the most important for you, because when you receive correct recognition, like, oh my gosh, this new schedule you just created is absolutely amazing. I'm really seeing a more efficiency within the workers in the field right now. And man, sales are up by 35%, right? It's the recognition comes from the wisdom and the input of activating the energy types into these new, maybe organizational flows, and then seeing the product of the more efficiency, the greater growth within. Really, again, remember your gift is moving, organizing, and sharing what is needed to get energy types more productive. So as you look at this, that it isn't just about being seen, it isn't just about saying someone saying something to you, it's more about the recognition for the value that you have brought to the community. Now we will talk about the energy of really being heard too, because for a projector, if you don't wait to be invited, if somebody isn't asking you for your wisdom, for instance, you're sitting in a group of friends and someone's talking, and you immediately blurt out, "Oh, well, you should do this, this, and this. That will help that." Well, guess what? Nobody asked. So it's literally like your words blow away in the wind. And all of a sudden, somebody else is going to say the very same thing you said, and they're going to be heard, and you're going to feel bitter or resentful because it's going to feel like, oh my gosh, I literally just said that. Nobody listens to me. Nobody values what I say. Well, again, you, with so much love, want to recognize that you did not enter into sharing your wisdom in your own correct type, strategy, and inner authority in that moment. So, therefore, it's not that they didn't hear you because they don't value what they're saying. It's that you didn't enter into the healthy relationship correctly. So they weren't able to hear you. This is key. And I will tell you, all five types have their own unique thing in working with these. Every type has their own unique nuances. So, therefore, when you learn yours, you're going to start to recognize, man, life flows so easy because I found my people that recognize that I am the one to come to in order to help with these types of things. And when that starts to happen, your recognition just starts to go, and it just feels good. It lights you up to feel important and respected and needed in that position within your community. Now, within this, low energy and negative thoughts, when you start to feel bombarded by these things, it's mainly going to be a reflection of not having honored how you entered into relationships or any of the arrangements that you're in. This can even be with how you're taking care of your body. Again, there is a shadow side to the projector energy of many times overcommitting yourself to helping others, because there is just a whole dynamic of not wanting to feel as though you're letting other people down. It can also feel as though that energy of wanting that recognition might kick in within there. And so within there, sometimes when you really need rest, but you find yourself overcommitting to helping others, then this can also be not a healthy relationship with your body. And your body, again, needs to be one of the number one things that you listen to. So if you start to get really low energy, negative thoughts, these kinds of things, it's really helpful to start to look at, where am I maybe leaking my energy? Where am I overcommitting? Where am I doing things because of an unhealthy relationship dynamic? And where can I maybe scale back in order to make sure that I'm also creating a healthy relationship with my body? Because remember, that's one of the first relationships you came in with in this incarnation. You do absorb your environments and the people. So when you get overloaded by others, so after work, after hanging out, or if you have a busy household, or if you're a parent with a lot of kids, probably not all your children are reflectors or projectors, sorry. So within this, you want to make sure that you utilize particular tools such as nature. Nature is going to be your number one friend. Nature is one of the most best grounding energies. So if you start to feel overwhelmed, unable to think or process, better than getting on your phone and scrolling through Instagram and TikTok, which actually drains your energy even more because you're just absorbing very quickly everything that you're scrolling into. I really do want to overemphasize for projectors, any kind of social media actually is overly draining to you more than other types. Nature, though, nature is where you want to go out. So even just to walk 20 feet away from the house, go put your feet on the grass, go be out in the sunshine, go with a tree, go stick your hands in the dirt, do some planting, do something that allows you to connect with nature and a little bit more than even pets, because pets do still have their own energy and their own identities. So you really do need more of a neutral nature energy in your field in order to help you. And nature will actually help ground other people's energy out of you. It's kind of like a grounding mat that will pull it out of you. So anytime you start to get overwhelmed by a lot of different things, go get out on some grass, stand there with your bare feet for a little bit, get in the sunshine, do something to actually utilize nature as kind of like a grounding mat, and it will literally go and just kind of pull it all out so you can start to think and feel more clear and more settled within your energy field. So within this, again, if you feel unheard and if you do not wait for your wisdom and ideas to be asked for, just take that time to go like, oh yeah, that's right. I need to wait for the invitation. And I want to say waiting is not going to take forever, even though it sounds like you're at other people's whims. You're not really. Remember, you're so magnetic that if you were to sit silent in a room, eventually other people's auras are going to be attracted to you, and give it a second. The bustle will go, and all of a sudden, boom, what do you think? The question will come. It just is. It's part of your field. The invitations will come. So we want to also look at, how do you accept those invitations? How do you make decisions with your inner authority? Projectors, again, having so many dynamics, have some of the most widest range of inner authorities of all the types. You could be emotional solar plexus, splenic, heart ego authority, the G center, self-directed, also environment. So meaning mental, a mental projector, really, this is could be just the ajna and the head center activated, and that would be a mental projector. So within this, how would this work? Emotional solar plexus, we talk about this quite a bit with all the different types except for the reflectors. Emotional solar plexus means a little bit more weighting. It means you do have the emotional waves of the highs and the lows. With the emotional solar plexus center, there is the added energy of it. It takes a lot of learning all on its own. It doesn't matter what type you are. That if you have an emotional solar plexus as your inner authority, that's honestly the first place I would invite you to learn how to manage that center, the highs and the lows. That you do not want to make a decision in the moment. You have to wait for the emotion to come down, or to come back up. So if it's super high, like super joy, or super depressed, you got to get back into that plateau of that neutral energy before you make a decision. And it can have a procrastinating energy to it. So many times, if you have emotional solar plexus, you need to learn how to motivate yourself to not let yourself just say, well, maybe tomorrow, maybe another day, because there can be this sense of not having absolute certainty with the emotional solar plexus. So learning the emotional solar plexus is incredibly beneficial above and beyond everything, and then really start to tie this in with living your perfected energy. Splenic center is very fast, it's very quick, and it's very instinctual. And because most types, I'm going to say this for most types, are very mind driven. In this society where we live, the mind can many times override the logic and the instincts that we get from, say, our heart, our soul, or our intuition. So the splenic is very quick. It's like being startled. It's that quick thing that happens without even thinking. And then a lot of times the mind comes in to rationalize us out of the first impression. So if you have a splenic, this one's also very special to learn because you got to learn how to pay attention to those very fast, quick, subtle impulses that you have that later you would go back and go like, man, I got that nudge. I knew that. But man, I just like, I didn't pay attention to it. The heart, the ego authority, it's about feeling out what's right for you, kind of on a heart-based level. And I am going to say this for the next three types. So the heart, the G center, and the environment, the mental. These are going to be really amplified by having a conversation with yourself. Many times, having a conversation out loud, kind of hearing yourself talk things out. Sometimes it's helpful to record it into, like, say, the recorder on your phone, play it back to yourself, and then listen to it. And then through that, it's through your own wisdom that you will get your yes or no. Now, here's the thing for all types. When you get your yes or no, you have to stick to it, no matter how uncomfortable it is to say yes to something that might feel like you are letting other people down, or no to things that I guess might be the same thing, feeling like you're letting people down if you don't do or follow through with something. Your first and ultimate relationship, and this is for all types, we have to first learn how to manage our own inner authority, our type, our strategy, inner authority, and live that experiment to really honor ourselves. And then as we become whole within ourselves, we can truly be that gift for others. Now, the last thing we want to talk about is sleep patterns and using up the energy correctly. Your body actually requires quite a bit of rest. Now, naps might be helpful, and I am going to touch on a little bit too. Projectors in the early years of life, especially when you're a child, teenager, early adulthood years, you might be one of the most energy types out of everybody because remember, you're absorbing the energy from others around you. So when you burn yourself out, exhaust yourself, this is actually tearing down your own immune system for your future. So, what happens many times for projectors is that if you push yourself and push yourself and push yourself, because you're not an energy type, you don't have a natural energy source that's going to recharge you. It actually takes a lot longer for you to recharge your stores of energy than the other types. So, you want to make sure you rest when you need to, take naps if you need to. Do retreats when you need to. If you need your weekends off or certain days off in the week, stick to it. You have to really protect yourself because, again, if you allow too much of your energy to leak out, your body, your own health and vitality doesn't have a way to recharge itself like energy types. So it's not going to be able to heal, recoup, or recover as fast as other types. So this is really important, especially primarily after the Uranus opposition times. This comes around the ages of 42 to 44-ish, somewhere in there. And it's at these times we want to really recognize that, especially if there are hormonal changes in the body and things like this, that if you've been honoring your type, strategy, and authority your whole life, you're going to be just sailing right through it. But if not, these are sometimes the times where those energy walls get hit. And it is going to take a bit of time to honor. Now, sleep, again, being vital, it's important to go to sleep before you feel tired. It's also going to be helpful when you sleep if you have a partner to sometimes turn your back to them, because if you have the front of your chakras to like a generator, manifesting generator, or especially a manifester who's just constantly projecting energy out all the time, it can keep you wired up and awake, like it's hard to sleep. So sometimes just turning so that your back is to that energy will be helpful. Or, as it is suggested a lot within human design, it's actually really quite healthy to have your own sleeping place, if that is something that you want to arrange. in that way. Now, within this, as we look at again your energy, it's remembering that when you see the world around you, that not everyone is going to be as detailed as you. Not everyone is going to focus on the same things you focus on. So, and again, it's remembering to find your people so that it doesn't feel frustrating if you feel as though you want others to understand or recognize what you have a passion for. You want to come into a healthy relationship to that, create that pattern with the universe, and then start to allow your world to rearrange around you to support that energy. So, within these are just some things to start to think about. All energy, all types. So, even energy types out there, all types. Not everyone has the energy to do everything that we think that we want to do. That it's really something that our spirit is inspiring us to, and that the more we honor this vibration and this energy, the more we will recognize that every single type is absolutely unique. You truly are a gift to humanity. You are the sage on on the top of the mountain, the wisdom keeper, that the more that you recognize that your wisdom is your magic, your gift, and that you don't want to leak it out or misuse it or not honor it in this lifetime, because your wisdom is how God's source moves through you. And so when you honor it to the utmost, you will feel yourself being in harmony with the cosmos and the universe. And you will start to recognize that if someone needs your wisdom and you're that sage at the top of the mountain, guess what they need to do? They need to ask for it. They need to climb the mountain. They need to get to you. They need to ask you. And then you will know yes or no if this individual is someone that I want to share or to merge within this type of relationship. So as you start to honor that, you start to get to recognize, probably the first challenge is learning not to speak right away when something comes to you, so that you can start to honor that, so you can start to let yourself be recognized as important, so that others will feel very, very honored and happy when they get that wisdom from you, so that it can be recognized. So, with so much love, may some of this be beneficial to you, so that you can be the wisdom keeper, the wisdom sharer, and the gift for helping to organize the energy types within this lifetime. With so much love. Thank you for letting me share this with you.